Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Escape Pod.
Hello.
We watched more Star Trek, even though we didn't want to. So here we go.
It was a journey.
Well, I wanted to. It was just we decided to speed up our process of watching them,
record more episodes,
which I think is probably a good idea. It won't seem that way to you, but from our point of view, we're doing this more often than it is getting released to you because editing takes time.
Because for us, the first episode isn't even out yet. So today, we watched What Little Girls Are Made Of, Miri, and Dagger of the Mind.
Regrettably.
Yeah, I did not want to do
What are
this.
little girls made of?
Apparently they're made of, wires and taking
Sugar.
orders.
And an X-shaped jump chute.
Chemical X.
And the pointiest of nipples,
And-
apparently.
Whatever makes nipples erect, they are constructed of, thus making their nipples.
It is very cold on
eternally
that planet, so she is
stick out.
constantly erect.
Yeah,
The name of
Yeah,
that
just
species
like me
is
whenever I
Nipplet
see
erectus.
her.
but it's probably true. Okay,
Oh.
so who's
Anyway.
going to introduce which episodes?
Oh, dude.
I remember the first two more clearly than Dagger of the Mind, so I can take either of those. I don't really care.
So it's up to Sal. Do you want to do Miri or do you want someone else to?
I want to do Dagger of the Mind.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
Then-
Yeah, I want to do Dagger of the Mind.
then okay. So Nathan, you do Miri, and I'll do what are little girls made of.
All right.
So let's do the first one. So, what are little girls made of? Question mark.
Oh, is there a question mark?
So just it's
I can't fucking
because
save the
you-
file with the question mark. What the hell?
Oh,
This
that's
is like Quest of Love's issue.
yeah. Well, the episode opens and they're basically going. It's kind of that same thing. I think we're gonna say this a lot over the. Well, maybe not the second one, but over these three episodes, I think we all kind of agree. It kind of recycled some. It was kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
So we're traveling to yet another planet to search for yet another person who's made their scientific career out in space. And there's this guy, Roger Corby.
No, wait. Who happens to be romantically involved with a science officer, a medical officer.
Well, that was Nurse Chapel, wasn't it?
Yeah, and remember earlier on, it was McCoy's love.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of repeats. And spoiler alert, this is going to be the only episode where Nurse Chapel is like a main character. So
Aww.
That
unfortunately,
sucks, 'cause
yep.
she's so good and
Yeah.
hot.
Gotta make more room for Yeoman Rand.
Why?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later.
Why?
Okay. And so she's the fiance of Corby, and she's been searching for him, and apparently she signed on to the Enterprise just for the chance that she could meet him again.
Oh my God.
I don't know why she couldn't take like a shuttle or
This is so
something.
fucking
But anyway.
stupid. I can't do
Don't got no money for that, man.
Yeah. So
You gotta take that 1 in a million chance and hope that the one ship that you are assigned to in the entire universe is going to fly in the area of where you think your fiance is.
because as we all know, the Star Trek universe is very small. It's not like
Incredibly.
in a later series it's going to take them 70 years to get no, it's very small. They can just it's fine. It's just coinky dink. So
They probably just got back from the edge of the galaxy, having a
okay,
picnic.
I'm so
you just made the chronology so much more confusing.
But yeah, so
But anyway,
they go to the planet that's really cold, and they're like, "Shouldn't you be?"
Well, they don't expect anyone to be alive,
yeah,
and
it's
then
really cold.
Corby's voice comes out, and then he's like, oh, Christine's on board, and so he's like, very suspiciously, yeah. So why don't you just beam down with as minimum people as possible? Just beam down with yourself and my wife, and then Kirk disobeys that blatantly and just beams down with 2 red shirts, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like
Matthews and Rayburn.
because whenever he beams down, no one's there to greet him, so he's like, "I need security."
Yeah, and then so those guys get pretty wrecked pretty easily by Voldemort. Apparently, Voldemort comes out and grabs them,
It's
and
it's the guy who plays.
Purple Voldemort.
It's the guy who plays the giant in Twin Peaks. It's awesome.
is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, Rook. That's the guy's name,
Ruck?
and he's just this humanoid-looking guy. Ruck. Yeah, why I say
Coruscant?
Rook is? Sorry, I'm thinking Rook is a character from the Thrawn trilogy in the old expanded universe of Star Wars.
Aw,
So,
yeah, he is.
Ruck is different. So
There you go, folks. Take your shot.
so
That's
Kirk-
our Star Wars. That's our Star Wars reference.
unfortunately, yeah.
Obligatory.
And so there's basically this underground cave, and then Corby's like, there's this extinct race, and the research I have here, it's very sensitive. We can't let people know about it too, because the closed-minded people are gonna like. And then Kirk's like, what the hell are you talking about? And so there's this extinct race called the Old Ones, but I don't think it's like Cthulhu, because Cthulhu doesn't need to build androids. Spoiler alert.
Oh my god.
So
it's ruined.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cthulhu works in mysterious ways.
He does.
Cthulhu makes androids.
Can we put that on a T-shirt? Cthulhu works in mysterious ways.
Yes, of course.
That's a good one. Okay,
of course.
Well,
on the back,
funny.
just in parentheses in a little tiny font, needs androids.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
So then,
before the podcast, me and Josiah were joking about Lord of the Rings, and I think what we said was, what was it, Josiah? That like after Lord of the Rings, Sam gets a good deep dicking. What does Frodo get?
Yeah, no, he gets his dick wet.
Well, yeah, Sam gets his dick wet. What does Frodo get?
He gets suffering and heaven.
Buy that in our store. No.
So anyway, there's this guy who leads them. Obviously not there to greet them. He's far too mysterious for that.
Is that you, Dr. Corby?
Dr. Brown is Roger's assistant. Brown, where's Roger?
Come meet Dr. Corby, your fiance. And so he leads them down, and there's this precarious like ledge, and later like the crewman falls off of it.
Mm-hmm. Falls.
I think it was supposed to be
falls.
That Ruck did it, right?
Yeah.
Like it definitely has to be, because otherwise that was really sad.
And then afterwards,
Red Shirt dies by accident.
Then afterwards comes Brown's total disregard for life.
He's dead, I assure you. Come, Dr. Corby will be waiting.
Yes,
he's dead. What? He's dead. Leave it alone.
And so then they go down to meet Corby, and there's this lovely looking android called Andrea.
It's funny because when I first wrote down, like, I didn't know she was an android at first, and my note was, Andrea must be fucking cold. Because it's supposed to be
a nice
very
planet.
Yeah, and she's wearing like an X on her fucking person.
The power of android skin, my friend.
Oh my god.
So basically it's revealed pretty quickly, I might add, that Brown is dead, and I don't
was
think
he ever alive to begin with, Josiah?
Well, see, that's the whole twist of the episode, isn't it? We don't even fucking know. And Andrea, I don't think it said she was based on anyone. So Corby had a pretty he that was a labor of love he did, and I love
active imagination.
Yes, I love how
he fucked the
in
robot.
A way to
The flesh has warmth. There's even a pulse, physical sensation.
How convenient.
Yeah, in a way to convince Christine that he didn't fuck the robot. He's like, trust me, it only does what it's commanded. I'm like, that doesn't make your case any better, sir.
Yeah, you can say,
and especially since he immediately goes, hey, kiss Kirk.
There's no emotional bond. Andrea, kiss Captain Kirk.
And then she does it, and he's like, now strike him. Does it. And he's like, see, there's no emotion, there's no connection at all. And I was just like, okay, you're saying everything except the specific words, I did not fuck this robot.
Yeah.
Therefore, I have to assume that you're bullshitting and like not able to say that you fucked the robot.
I think
he can't say I didn't fuck the robot, because he did. He had to test it out.
Because
of course.
No, because like the whole scene furthered the point that he did fuck the robot.
Yeah. I mean, it was the 60s, so they couldn't really.
He should have been like, kiss Kirk, and then she's like, I'm not programmed for that. That would have been convincing.
Yeah. But he didn't think it through.
Like saying you didn't fuck this robot and then immediately demonstrating that you could, like, very, very easily does not help your case. Especially later on when Kirk starts tries macking on her, and she's just like, "No, I'm not programmed for you." And I was like, "Oh, completely confirmed."
No. Not programmed for you.
You are a fuckbot.
Yep.
And then he basically says, "Hey Kirk, I'm gonna make a race of androids." And Kirk's like, let's
I beg your pardon.
He's like, hey, excuse me, sir. You want to rephrase that? He's like, no. And so
the matter of fact, like, I'm gonna make a race of androids.
The best part is when he's describing his plan. He's like, "Listen, they got to blend into society. Like, we got to have like thousands of them spread out before we reveal them. That won't cause any paranoia.
They need to be
all."
integrated first. You have to make sure they work.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
So basically, Kirk gets beat up by Ruck because Ruck comes in
Which
and
time?
wrecks him. Well,
countless moments.
I haven't even
Broken.
finished the goddamn plot summary.
This is all my fault. This is once again, audience. This is all my
This
fault.
is gonna be the best episode ever.
They strap Kirk down nude, of course, to
Yeah.
this.
Oh, of course.
He's always got to have his clothes ripped or torn off.
And
so
he's
it just
sitting
makes
next
sense.
to a Play-Doh.
Yes,
It's
he's
like
sitting next to
fucking comfy.
Plato. And apparently, this power that the androids created by the old ones are it's so powerful that it can just like replicate an android like within 30 seconds.
Josiah,
But again, they have what?
it's powered by the most basic of tools, the wheel. If you spin it fast enough, it just fucking works. And boy, do they
That's
spin
very
it
true.
fast.
Yeah,
Science!
it just spins around and it immediately duplicates Kirk, like exactly. And so, as Kirk's getting created, like the new Kirk's getting created, the real Kirk says,
Mind your own business, Mr. Spock. I'm sick of your half-breed interference, do you hear? Mind your own business, Mr. Spock. I'm sick of your half-breed interference.
and at first you're like, why are you saying that? Is
Yeah.
that like your innermost thought?
I wrote down that
But we
as
know
a
that
racist moment, so I was very confused. It happens at
But
27
it was a false racist
minutes.
moment.
Yeah,
it was a
but
false racist
I
moment.
know, it tricked me. It was really good.
Yeah, it fooled me. But so the Kirk android is very advanced, and so they do like this really obvious thing where Chapel goes to like sit down to have like lunch or something.
Oh, yeah.
and they
this
just
is
send the
even
Kirk in,
cool.
and she automatically she assumes that it's the real Kirk.
Even though I immediately knew it wasn't him because he acted totally different.
Well, yeah. So anyway, the audience is supposed to know that it's an android, but not
Okay.
her. So
Good job,
but an
Chapel.
interesting thing, yeah. When Corby comes back in, they do well. First of all, they have a really good split screen
Yeah.
with the two Kirks. Like that was that. Like, what do you think, Nathan? I thought that was legit, like a solid.
I thought that was really cool. It wasn't even something that I thought about actually. Like, not gonna that just that just hit me. I was like, oh yeah. I guess they had to do something to make that work.
So anyway, the interesting thing here is that the Kirk android. I didn't even. Okay, so I'm a Trekkie. I had no idea Kirk had a brother.
Yeah.
Right?
George Samuel Kirk?
What the fuck? I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Sam? I feel
was
like they're
so
dropping that for
confused.
later.
They are.
Oh, spoiler alert.
They're dropping it for Star Trek Beyond.
Dude, there's no.
Oh,
even fucking.
Idris Elba is going to be George Samuel Kirk.
Okay.
No, can I spoil it?
Yeah.
No, I know he's in another episode.
Yeah, I want to spoil it real quick. No, who plays him?
Oh,
Plays
I have
him?
no idea.
It's
Sure.
Kirk with a fucking mustache.
Oh, that's everything I ever wanted.
It's Kirk with a fucking mustache.
Oh, good.
And
So-
like a mustache like I used to have before it got good. Like a weird like
Pedo stash?
yeah.
So they beam duplicate Kirk up, and he immediately says "Mind your own business, Mr. Spock. I'm sick of your half-breed interference. Do you hear?" And Spock's like, "The fuck you on, mate?" And he's like, "Obviously, this isn't James Kirk." And so
What's really interesting is before that, in the scene where it's like them sitting at the table with the two Kirks, once again, like I don't know what it is, but Corby does not know how to like. He tries to does the exact opposite with what he says because he did the whole like I would never fuck this robot. Look, it does whatever I tell it to, and then with the Kirk, he's just like, look, this isn't a threat at all. It's just exactly the same as you, and no one would ever be able to tell the difference. Wait,
Yeah.
what? That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, this is not comforting me at all. It's just like,
Corby
no, you don't
himself.
understand. This has all your memories. It can outthink you.
Also, guys, real
Yeah.
quick.
What?
Does the chase scene between Ruck and Kirk happen while the android Kirk is in the ship?
pretty sure.
Okay, because the piece of stalactite that Kirk grabs looks like a fucking penis.
It looks like a dick. I made a note of that.
Me too.
I made a note of that. I saw that. I was like, that is a penis. There is no reality where you would not see that as a male member. That is
I didn't see it.
that is a ding-a-ling.
Yeah, Nathan.
I didn't see it.
That is a dog.
I was so sleepy.
It had balls too. Like it was the full
balls.
package.
It was a fucking.
It was a
penis.
sculpted thing. That was the ding-a-ling.
I missed it.
Okay.
also want to say one other thing because Android Kirk's on the ship, and then he's going to the bridge for some reason. They reuse the footage
Because he has to go to another planet. He has
Mhm.
to begin to spread androids.
They reused the footage of him getting on the elevator thing, because in an earlier episode I saw them do this shot where it kind of follows Kirk, and then like Kirk kind of like stands at the thing, and then it kind of moves past him. It's this really cool dynamic camera move, and it struck me when I first watched through an earlier episode that it was really cool. But then they reused it in this episode.
Yeah, they do that a bit.
It was
They reuse shots
it
a
was
lot.
funny. And then after that,
But
Kirk tries to rape an android.
What's the matter, Andrea? Confused?
does he? It's
Mhm.
it's very weird. Like
No, because at first, whenever it started, I was like, okay, I wrote down Kirk's gonna fuck an android. And then, like, she was being like, no, I'm not programmed for this, but he kept going. So then I crossed out fucking rape underneath it, because it definitely that was rapey.
well, he was trying to like. It was weird. Like Kirk basically was like, okay, I can break the android's programming.
That sounds rapey.
And with Rook too.
But no,
With Ruck,
but listen to this.
Oh god.
Replace the word programming with will, or like what a human would have. It's the same thing.
I'm trying to see
Counselor.
what the moment where I.
You're trying to defend Kirk's actions.
Yeah,
Trying to rape
because
a robot.
I
It's okay to
remember
admit it.
because no, he obviously was going into it, obviously trying to break the programming. He wasn't
Dude.
trying to.
If he
Get
would have had his
some.
way, he would have fucked that robot.
No, I don't. No, he wouldn't.
No,
He was
I think
being
he would've.
rapey.
Like,
No, he
I
wasn't.
I mean, I do think he was going in for that. Like, I think he was trying to do the whole break the programming or whatever. But I'm just saying, I don't think he would have gone, haha, see, I did it, if she had gone along with it. Like,
Well, no, but then he would have tried something else. But it
Sure.
worked.
Also,
so, yeah.
he was sleeping on a wooden bed with no mattress.
Dude, Corby's a dick.
That was so weird.
Like, he's like, oh, listen, this is a cave. What do you expect me to make for you? There's no bed. Oh, see, that's foreshadowing, because would an android need a proper bed?
Oh my god.
Yeah, see?
and it's
So-
done deliberately so that he can't fuck the android because it's so fucking uncomfortable on the bed.
Exactly. Only an android.
Damn.
Evil
could
Jude.
He can't rape the android. It all makes sense.
Only an android in this place.
Only an android could be so precise.
Yeah, then after
Um,
after that he breaks Ruck.
Existence! Survival must cancel out programming.
That's it! Rock! Logic!
He does. I did like this scene. I actually wrote down, what was that quote that I liked? That he said, "Survival must cancel out programming," which I
Damn.
thought that was a good quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was gonna like basically break his spine, and then I don't know. It's kind of a blur. He basically Corby destroys Ruck, and then he gets his skin peeled.
Oh
And then
my
he's also an
God.
android, and he's like, I'm Corby. I haven't changed. It's just me. I had to transfer my mind to an android.
Once again, Dragon Ball Z kind of ruined that concept for me.
I feel like Dragon Ball Z, like this is kind of the Wow.
Yeah, origination.
Yeah.
This is the original kind of because I don't know where I've seen this, but the whole I'm the creator, but I'm actually the thing that you thought was my creation. I feel like that's a common plot twist from here on out after this point.
It was a very Frankenstein
probably.
episode, I'm not gonna lie.
I will kiss you.
No.
You will not?
It is illogical.
Andrea destroys the duplicate Kirk when he refuses to kiss her.
Yeah, what?
Like I said, this one's very garbled at the end, I think, because like she loves Corby and then she kisses him, and then I think Corby fires the.
I think she
fatal?
does.
It's very weird.
You're not human.
Love you. Kiss.
But somehow the phaser hits them
Um,
both because they're touching? How did that
Yeah,
work?
you know the way phasers work.
Yes.
In my notes, I wrote "How do phaser."
So, and then Spock arrives because he knew something was wrong, and then he's like, "Where's Dr. Corby?" And Kirk's like, "Dr. Corby was never here." And then Chapel's like, maybe I should just finish my tour of duty, and I shouldn't have gotten on this vessel just to meet my old fiance who went crazy.
And then he speaks to Spock about the events that happened. Like, he says that dramatic line of Corby was never here, and then 10 seconds later, Spock's like, so about Corby being a fucking android, right? Like, immediately. It's like, wait, did you not have that conversation?
Yeah, so that was the plot summary, which we basically talked throughout, so I'll kind of go back through my notes.
I think we should do that more often, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I'm going back through my notes again. Trivia, this was technically the first red shirt death.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that whenever he died.
Because, like, earlier people had died, but they weren't red shirts. But this is the first time. So that's cool. 2 of them died.
Yeah.
Let's see. I wrote down
whenever they beamed down, I was so happy because I'm like, oh, they're going to fucking die.
Yeah, poor guys.
Fuck Weird bit of information. There was no Sulu, Scotty, or McCoy in this episode.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It's so weird though. Whenever
I have the wiki open, and
oh my god!
Apparently, so it says the episode was written by Robert Bloch, but received rewrites during shooting.
Yep,
leaving the production 2 days behind schedule, and that references to H.P. Lovecraft was intentional in the original script. So
I guess
maybe there would have been more payoff in the end if they had gone with the original version, whatever it may have been.
Yeah,
it turns out Corby is Cthulhu.
Yeah,
that would have blown my mind.
Or Andrea is.
That would have blown my mind twice. And then, of course, there was the classic Star Trek dialogue where Corby's like, "Can you imagine how life could be improved if we could do away with greed, jealousy, hate?" Kirk says it can be improved by taking away love, tenderness, sentiment. Other side of the coin, Doctor. And I'm just like, yeah, there you go. Good. I always like the Star Trek ethical discussions. So I have a question, guys, about this episode.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
What are little girls made of? What was the point of that title?
There was no point.
Original script. Maybe that had a meaning.
No, see, here's my point. Transition. Maybe the next episode should have been called "What Are Little Girls Made Of?"
Seriously.
Okay.
No, man, you're not wrong.
Oh, so do we? So no more words for that. Okay.
Okay. I think we'll talk about all the episodes at the end.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the next episode is Miri, so called for the little girl who is becoming a young woman in the episode.
Fuck this episode.
So this episode starts with the Enterprise receiving a distress signal from Earth?
What?
Maybe, but not. But
that was so weird.
I'm sure we'll explain later. Just kidding. So they go down to not Earth.
They never do explain that.
And,
dude, that was the thing that pissed me off most.
Son of a bitch.
I was just like, at the end of that episode, I was just like, wait, so was that Earth? I'm very confused.
I actually had the expanded universe explanation. No, it never gets explained.
See, when I first saw that, I thought that this was going to be the evil world that you talked about before, and how there's like evil
mirror universe.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be that, and I was like, oh wow, that's early
wish
on.
This was mirror. You fucking wish.
That would have made sense. That would have made sense.
Well, mirror, I thought.
See, Nathan, that's what you would do if you did a reboot Star Trek show. You'd have
I'd have red herring titles all the time.
You'd have red herring titles. It'd be Miri, but it would be mirror.
It would be like, oh shit, it's Miri again. It was just like, just kidding. So they go down to not Earth, and it looks like 60s Earth but abandoned.
Yes.
And then McCoy, I think, is the one who sees a little cart.
They all
or something.
See it, but
yeah.
McCoy stays behind.
McCoy looks at it and he's like, "Hey, it's a tiny fucking red cart. I'm curious about it. I'm a scientist, whatever." So he's like grabbing it and pulling around when all of a sudden like a low budget Urukai pops in out of nowhere and is like, "That's my world."
He said rar definitely, but I think
so it's like this wild animalistic man with the mind of a child is like freaking out over his thing, and then he has a heart attack or a stroke or something. I don't know, and he fucking dies.
All of those.
He has all of these things and dies. And then they're like, oh, that's fucking weird. They meet this little girl named Miri, as a title drop, and she is afraid of them.
Keep in mind the phrase "little girl."
Little girl.
It was hard to tell at first, honestly. I didn't know how old she was supposed to be until they said it, and I was like, oh.
I agree.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. She might be 16. She might be 18. It was the 60s. I don't know.
You know, we don't know what the age of consent is on Not Earth. So I mean, I just want to keep that. There is no consent.
Not for Kirk, apparently.
Anyways,
he didn't do shit.
So she is afraid of them because they are.
But I remember the things you grups did.
Grups, which they cleverly realize means grown-ups.
Oh shit! I just got that.
Really? You
really? They fucking said it.
I missed that one line. I must have looked away just for that one line because I did not get that.
They were like grups, and then Yeoman Rand immediately was just like grown-ups, and I was like, how the fuck did you put that together?
Oh, I got that.
That's funny. I feel like an idiot.
I got that before they said it.
I didn't.
That's amazing. I totally didn't get that. I thought that was just a weird name.
It's the GR from grown, and then ups from ups. Grups.
Hey, I totally didn't get that. Fuck you.
They just don't take ownership of it because they dropped I did a thing anyway. And then so all the grown-ups are grups because the kids can't say own for some reason, and then all the kids are called onlys, which if you thought grups was like a really unoriginal, uncreative name for grown-ups, the onlys for the name of the only ones that are like, that's even, I mean, this was not a creative episode.
What you talking
about?
Well, actually, I will argue it was kind of creative. It just was in the wrong ways.
It should have been longer. It should have been like a two-parter.
Or not existed at all.
Oh my god.
You know, this episode wasn't canon.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So after that whole deal where it's like, oh, grups only is Miri, weird. All of the crewmen except for Spock, because you know, green-blooded little hobgoblin.
Yes.
Everyone starts getting these weird lesions on their bodies.
Thank you.
It's already starting. I knew it would.
And they're like, oh, that's fucking weird. And Miri's like, hey, you're going to become like these other guys. And they're just like, you mean the weird fucking mentally challenged Urukai thing over there? And it's like, yeah, you're going to be like that. And he's like, oh, fuck. Well, that's not going to work. So McCoy and Spock do some sciencing, and they science stuff, and they find out that it comes about because of puberty. And like
wanted immortality, and they failed.
It was the Life Prolongation Project. I wrote it down and everything.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. Again, I watched this really late, still I missed some things. So life extension deal, which had a side effect of turning people into monsters once they hit puberty.
So Spock had this line where he was like, "It'll affect the oldest first." I imagine all to take a look to McCoy, but no one did. McCoy's old as fuck. What do you want from me?
Yeah, so puberty causes disease. Apparently, according to the wiki that I'm reading to refresh my memory, the children are apparently over 300 years old, aging 1 month every century.
Yep.
Yes.
Fucking horrifying.
That is horrifying.
And once the disease begins, the victims have 7 days to live. So boom, we have the tension is mounting in this episode as they rush for a cure to this thing.
You're gonna die in 7 days.
7 days. But anyway, but then a group of other onlys,
led by John, spelled with an A.
Yep.
Jean. It's French. Or not French, because we're on Not Earth. Whatever.
So is it Picard?
It's Jean-Luc Picard.
The greatest of foreshadowings. Well, I mean, he's able to organize all these little fucking kids to do a bunch of random crazy shit. And so he's a good captain.
They have war songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They scat the music to London Bridge is falling down, which was very confusing for me because I was like, wait, what the fuck?
I never wanted to hear the term "they scat" in reference to frickin' Star Trek.
Yes, they scatted. You know, they made noises to the tune of that music. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Jean-Luc Picard brings in all these kids, and they steal the communications because, fuck you, they're kids, I don't know.
They talk to the other groups with these little boxes. Now, if they didn't have those little boxes, they'd be all alone.
Yeah, well, see, they think that. No, I totally don't get it. They just wanted them to die.
Yeah, they wanted them to fucking die.
Well, John actually figures out that there must be a ship somewhere, so he's pretty smart. He's like, they must be up there in the sky. So they use their communicators to talk to them. So if we take those, then they won't send anybody else down. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, man. Well, the reason why they don't like them is because
how do you know that?
They don't like them because they're grups, and
yeah, they're grups,
and grups yell and they fight.
Dirty fucking grups. What do you want?
Doesn't Kirk like beat the shit out of an old lady and he wins?
Yeah. Wait, does that happen? I just assumed.
Her name was Louise. Fatality.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He just like beats the shit out of her.
And they just had a disease-ridden grup in the back room for some reason.
Yep.
She was just there.
And apparently they were... so, no, wait a minute. None of this makes any sense. Back up. Sorry, Nathan. But, okay. So, this takes place on Earth, but it's not Earth. So, it takes place in 1960. But the thing happened 300 years ago. So, is it just 300 years from 1960?
Yeah.
Right, because that's when the whole series takes... But it's not Earth. And so wait, but grups don't live. So these grups are just people who hit puberty, I guess.
Yep.
It's like that's
why the one grup was so protective of the little tricycle,
right?
Because he was still.
They're like
so I guess it makes sense.
They're
but
like
it doesn't.
They're like the infected in I Am Legend.
Oh my god.
Yes. It kind of is. This kind of was like a weird hybrid of the Lost Boys, not the movie The Lost Boys, like
not the movie.
Oh, okay. It was like a hybrid of Peter Pan and The Last Man on Earth and
Omega Man.
Yeah, Omega. It was more Omega Man, that's for sure.
But it's because they had Richard Matheson in the writing room. They were like, "Hey, I like I Am Legend." He's like, "Thanks."
And after he said thanks, this writer was like, "I'm gonna do this."
Yeah.
I'm gonna show him my adaptation of I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Well, the enemy mind or whatever did such a good job on, and let's just make another one. Let's just do it.
Yeah, of course.
Let's just fucking do it live. I don't fucking care. Stupid ass episode. Can we talk about the leg scene?
Which leg? Oh yeah.
Janice is like, all the time on the starship, I wanted you to look at my legs. Look at my legs now, Captain. And she's all gross.
Oh yeah.
Back on this ship, I used to try to get you to look at my legs. Captain, look at my legs.
I remember that. That was like, wait,
and
what?
She had one on her tit too.
Did she?
She
oh
did.
Yeah. Of course, the chick has the
look
ones.
At this.
No, of course the chick has to have the gross mutation on her tits and legs, not on her arms or her, on all the sexy bits.
McCoy gets it on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk gets it on his hand. Yeoman Ram gets it on the legs and tits.
So my question is like, this is actually a legit character question. It's clear. No, I'm serious. It's clear that Janice and Kirk feel things for each other. So
I don't know why, but yeah.
Kirk, come on, it fits so well.
Do
it
they?
Works for me.
Does it?
Yeah, dude, Janice is a badass.
Is she?
Yeah, she's like fought off how many rapists and.
Why are there so many in this utopia?
It's because they're the bad guys. If it's a utopian society, they have to be even worse.
The ultimate bad guy.
It's not utopian. It's dystopian.
So we'll get there. Deep Space Nine. So anyway, does Kirk refuse to be with Janice because he really does care about her? Like,
no, I don't think he's allowed.
Yeah, he's not allowed.
He's allowed to fuck whoever he wants.
Josiah, listen to me.
He's the captain. He's a crewman.
Josiah,
He's allowed to fuck whoever he wants.
No, Kirk only has one woman, the Enterprise.
Well, that's true, but no.
Enterprise best girl.
No, but that's my point, is that Kirk, obviously, he has a duty to his ship, and he doesn't prioritize relationships. He has flings. So I think it's my supposition that he doesn't want to hurt her, and that's why they haven't done anything, because he actually does care about her. That's my analysis.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
Yeah, just want to throw that out there. There was that bit. I did like that. It's kind of what I realized watching this episode. I didn't realize too many other things other than apparently
Kirk
there's just
being
another
overly
Earth.
flirtatious towards a 13-year-old girl.
300-year-old girl.
And Spock saying the phrase, "She's going to be a woman soon, Jim."
Yeah, well, that's because he was asking, why is she attracted to, like, why is she like?
I'm just gonna lay it on the table. When I was watching this, it's a 50-minute episode. It took me about 3 hours to watch it because every time Kirk and Miri had a conversation, I had to go pause it and like go make a sandwich or something, or like take out the trash. It was just so gross. I did not enjoy it at all.
See, like what I'm thinking they were doing, I just now realize this, is they always film. They film like the filter on Kirk's face, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he's talking to her. I think what they were trying to show us is her POV of him, that he's like really charming, because they like filmed him like he was a romantic interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still didn't like it.
To me, I feel like they were trying to show that it's not that Kirk is hitting on a 14-year-old, it's that he's just charming and a good person and trying to care for her.
How about this?
She sees that.
I understand it. He just did too good of a job.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. I'm not saying it's not weird. I'm just saying it was weird, but it was also contradictory. So I was like, what?
Yeah. I understood what they were doing, but it was still just uncomfortable to be in that room.
I mean, there's only so well a 60 series can like do something like that.
Yeah, but honestly, it's just down to the episode itself. I'm only defending it because I don't want to just say it's god awful. It's just
it could have been handled better.
It's Miri.
It was one of those ideas that
there was too many ideas.
There were too many ideas that they just like all threw in at once.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yes, I feel like Not Earth should have been a much different story, but the only thing they had to go on was Not Earth, and they were just like, well, we're not doing anything with Not Earth, so let's throw in this story about immortality, and it's like
Neverland. Yeah,
and Neverland. Yeah. Well, no. See, then you get this story with immortality, and it's like, well, all we know is people want to have immortality. It's like, well, now we need Neverland. It was like, oh, well, we have this story. So
yeah, it was. The thing is that Not Earth opening teaser is the shortest teaser of the whole show, apparently, from what I looked up, and it's a really good one, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
because it's immediately just like, oh, this isn't at all like the fucking thing.
Yeah,
they never explain.
I looked it up in the expanded universe. A novel explained that this was an Earth from a parallel dimension that just floated into ours, and that's the only explanation they give.
You can't just float into parallel dimensions.
Yeah, tell that to Russell T Davies.
Oh, low blow.
So did you guys find the kids annoying?
No, well, a little bit.
I found them surprisingly.
They were better than most.
They of course.
They
were surprisringly good for child actors.
It's funny.
Let me put it this way: they were good actors, but after a while, the constant. What did they repeat? Yeah, that, and then what was it when what's the word they used for like beating someone over the head?
Bang, bong, bong.
I can't remember.
Bong, bong.
Yeah. When they repeated that for the 30th time, I started to want to kill them.
One of the kids went on to later be in Search for Spock and 2 episodes of Deep Space Nine.
And one of the kids was William Shatner's daughter.
Oh. Probably the one. The one he picks up.
Yes, it is. It is the one he picks up.
Cool. So apparently, in the 1989 novel, The Cry of the Onlys, the planet was
fucking hell.
The planet was called Duran 5, but according to the 2000 novel Preserver by William Shatner, the planet was called Site 2713 and was revealed to have duplicated from Earth on a subatomic level by the Preservers. And then according to another novel, it was from an alternate dimension.
Yep, there's a lot of explanations. Pick anyone you want. They're probably right.
Yeah, but
here's the thing.
Yeah, go for it.
I think like
yeah.
I think the fact that this has so many different explanations is because who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean, like Shatner can go, oh yeah, this is what it was. It was just this one place. It's just like, well, the reason it looked like Earth, and like trying really hard to fix it, and then you just have just various things because who
it's not going to impact the universe at all.
Who besides us is going to delve into the mystery of Miri? Like, come on.
Dude,
not for much longer.
it's fucking hardcore, and I'd like you to appreciate it. But yeah, there's apparently a book that's a sequel to this called The Cry of the Onlys, where it's like 3 years later.
Takes place right after.
And like John is like revolting against the colony on. It's so weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
At least it's not the cry of Miri, because I mean, then with like the rapey Kirk stuff, like
that has a bad connotation to that title.
Yeah.
I didn't really have many quotes that I liked from this episode. I have one too. It's when Spock is counteracting McCoy's racism by saying being a red-blooded human has its disadvantages.
Yeah.
Because they can get infected and he can't.
I will say, I fucking love the scene where it's Spock and McCoy working on the medicine or whatever, and they're just like, oh, I wonder if this is the cure, and he's just like, oh, without the computers, it could be our death. And then Spock like goes off to see Kirk, and McCoy immediately tests it on himself, and he's like, oh shit.
Like, what the fuck? He realizes he fucked up as he has the stroke.
As he injects himself, you're just like, this might not be a good idea.
And he's like, oh shit, I made a terrible mistake. Yeah, I did like that.
And then it's just like, you are so lucky that you made a medicine that could have killed you, but turns out it actually does cure you, but only after knocking you out with a seizure.
McCoy's a boss.
McCoy is a boss.
I have 3 quotes.
Okay.
The first, all 3 from Kirk, by the way.
God damn it.
Usually. Yep.
So, of course, the one that I've been quoting all night is,
I never get involved with older women, Yeoman.
in reference to Miri being so old, but also so
Yes.
young. Also, the other 2 is when Kirk says, no more blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, blah, blah, blah!
Yes. That was great.
And then when he delivers the line,
I'm a grup. And I want to help you.
Yeah, no, see, I gotta hand it to Shatner. Those lines were not very good, but he always has such conviction.
Dude, he sold it for me.
I was like, I buy this. I buy this.
What's interesting is like these kids. I understand that they're kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get that they're supposed to be like kids, like pre-puberty and all that. But
I don't know what's wrong with these kids today, Nathan.
Shut the fuck up! Are these? I don't want to be rude. Like, I don't have anything against mental disabilities.
Okay, he's going there.
Like special education is a thing. I understand.
You're talking about that one kid.
I'm talking about all of them. Like, all these kids are like, especially John, honestly. I don't understand how you just like shut out adult reasoning completely. Like 300
years of prepubescence.
Well, I mean that like, well, John is like, I assume he's like the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when I hit puberty, or before, when I was prepubescent, I feel like I had enough mind, enough capacity to think and reason. I would go, oh, hey, I should stop being a little shit and,
Nathan, you were a reasonable child.
I guess.
Also,
but like,
Nathan, you weren't prepubescent for 300 years.
That's true.
Says you.
But, I mean...
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was funny.
I mean, like what happened in those 300 years that made your logic go from, hey, I'm going to die, I should do something, to, hey, I'm going to die, but first I'm going to make these kids riot and beat the shit out of this old guy.
Bonk on the head.
Yeah,
bonk,
they beat the shit out of him.
They did.
Yeah, they fucked him up.
They made him bleed.
Kirk has some amazing patience, because just listening to those kids annoyed the fuck out of me, but he like let them beat the shit out of him and kept his composure pretty damn well.
Then he had to tear his sleeves because he's got to tear his shirt.
Yeah, of course.
And he's just like, "Look at my arms. It's gonna happen to you." And I'm just like, "Oh, you're right." Yeah. So basically they end the episode and they're like, "We're gonna send like people to bring you food and
teach them,
teachers and shit." Yeah. And then I guess that leads into Cry of the Onlys, and it leads us away from this episode, and we don't have to think about it because it doesn't impact the universe at all.
Damn.
I will say, like, sucks to be the people that are being sent there.
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be a history teacher someday. I don't want to fucking teach 300-year-old preteens. Like, that sounds horrifying to me.
I'm so sorry,
dude. They're gonna be in 6th grade forever.
Oh God.
I'm going to die before they graduate.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, what the? Oh.
So did you know the director of this episode and Dagger of the Mind is the same guy, and he did it all from a wheelchair?
Dude, what a boss.
That was the thing. That's what I was going to point out. Is the director of Miri and Dagger of the Mind was the same guy, which kind of
that raises some questions.
Which, I mean, for me, it kind of explains why they like 2 of the 3 episodes were kind of blah.
It's all in the writing, my friends.
It is. Well, yeah, it is all in the writing, but still.
Well, and in the case of the Kirk scene of the execution.
Oh, yes. So.
Yeah.
Shall I talk about Dagger of the Mind?
Please do, yeah.
This was probably my favorite of the 3. Thank God I'm talking about it. Dagger of the Mind starts out, and you get a really cool scene where, like, basically they're shipping down gigantic things to this penal colony. It's like a gigantic pill bottle is one of the things.
Yes.
Which was ridiculous, but I loved it, because they just didn't talk about it and just accepted it that was there. And we get this really cool scene that I wish came back into play later, but it didn't, where they can't beam the shit down because the beam's up. The force field's up. Yeah. And so Kirk's like, did you remember to calm them and let them know that we're going to come down there? And the guy at the thing, who's not Scotty, but someone else, a fucking imposter, was like, shit, Captain, I forgot. Like he forgot to open the thing. So they do it, and then they send a box back up, which they never tell you what's supposed to be in the box. They just go, we're going to get a box. And the guy walks away for some reason, and the other guy's like, he's looking at a board for no good reason. And
it was a nice board, you know.
And out of the box pops this crazy motherfucker who has, like, murder eyes.
Yeah.
And he looks like he just got, like, he looks like leather. He looks like, who's that fucking wrestler? Help me.
You know, actually, Ric Flair. He reminds me of fucking Ric Flair.
Yeah, he's Ric Flair.
Woo! He's fucking profiling. He's old as fuck.
His face is like leather.
I will say that that scene that you were talking about of them like beaming the stuff through and having the difficulty with the force field. Honestly, that made me have flashes to the 2009 Star Trek when they're about to warp and they're like having trouble or whatever, and Pike is just like, "Is the parking brake on?" And it made me think of that scene. And I was like, "Oh, this is really touching."
It's funny because later on there's a scene where they're about to beam down to that planet. Spoiler alert! And Kirk doesn't give like a little side note to the guy where he's like, "Remember about the shield?" Like, there's no, like, they don't bring the joke back, and I'm really sad about that.
There was too much going on.
It would have been like 10 seconds.
I know.
There's time. So yeah, this crazy motherfucker jumps out of the crate and like karate chops.
Ric Flair jumps out of the crate.
Yeah, like woo, and he jumps out.
It's he does the second most deadly martial art move. The judo throw is like the third, but the second most is the neck chop.
Yeah.
Nothing beats
fist punch, neck chop.
Yeah, and then judo throw.
I will say this episode has really interesting structure, because most Star Trek episodes have a certain structure. In the teaser, we get the distress signal. In the first act, you go down on the planet, and then the rest of it is us figuring out the issue. But this one, we spend a lot of time on the ship without even going to the planet. Like, whenever, because basically what happens is he gets out, and he's running around the Enterprise, and immediately they're like, Tantalus 5 is like, you have a stowaway. And they're like, shit. And they shut everything down and find him like immediately. And then he comes on board the bridge. He's having trouble speaking. Like, he tries to say certain things. Like, he's like, Doctor, my name is blah. And like, he can't say anything. Or like important anyway. Like, he could be like, yo, give me the fucking ship. I want to go somewhere. Don't take me back there. I don't want to go back there, please. But they capture him.
Yeah, so Kirk and Spock in the original series are such fucking good tag teamers.
Yeah,
this is like the second time where like Kirk like elbows him and then Spock just neck pinches him. It's like 2-hit combo.
Yeah,
he just goes down.
Yeah, Ric Flair just gets fucked up immediately.
He's just Ric Flair.
I think it's really funny because Ric Flair is just like he's Ric Flair now. Like, that's all we're gonna refer to him.
Okay, he's Ric Flair. All right.
I don't even remember his actual name, but
Simon
he's Ric
Van Gelder.
No, he's Ric Flair.
Okay,
he's Van Gelder.
Dr. Flair, mind you.
Dr. Flair.
Anyway,
okay.
So I just love that scene how Dr. Flair is he has his phaser and he's just like pointing at Kirk and he's just like, I want asylum, and he's just like, that is not how you ask for asylum at all. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was really funny how he was pointing out, it's just like, you can't ask for safety when you're holding a gun to someone.
Yeah. And he's like, promise me, and he's like, I can't make a promise like that.
I like, there's such a dramatic moment, just like, promise me, and it's like, no promises.
Yeah. Kirk's just like that guy. He's like, that's just not gonna happen.
Kirk's like, I'm not gonna lie to him, but
Like,
I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
He could be insane, but I'm an honest guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's very
And then,
progressive of him.
They capture him, and then McCoy's very interested in this guy. He's very much like, who the hell are you? And McCoy's like, what's your name? And the guy's like, Dr. Ric Flair. And he's like, oh my god.
You fooled me. I thought you were gonna say his real name. Van Gelder. Yes.
He's just like, oh, Dr. Flair, I know your work.
Anyway, sorry. This is not a WWE podcast, but anyway.
That's a lie. So basically what they find out is that is that Dr. Flair was the former associate or assistant or whatever to the administrator of Tantalus 5, Dr. Tristan Adams. And he was assigned to the colony 6 months prior. And a big thing they talk about really early on is how Dr. Adams has totally changed how penal colonies are. Penal colonies are basically just prisons that are remote. It's like fucking Alcatraz.
It's a rehabilitation center is what they keep calling it, to be nice.
And basically Kirk is like really a fan about Dr. Adams because he's like, he's done all these advances. Like they're basically like summer resorts now. They're not even really like prisons. Basically, they've really improved prison life.
Yeah.
Just so they can become productive members of society because they want to like reuse them because they're people. They want them to be people again. So while they're flying and they're kind of like, I think Kirk is like, let's just take him back. Like I don't want to deal with this bullshit. This guy's crazy. Ric Flair's a fucking nutcase. And so they're gonna take him back. And McCoy's like, something's fishy, Jim. I don't like this. This guy's. I kind of like. I think he says,
but always with just a ring of truth in it. I'd sure like to study this one, Jim.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I think it's the other. It's the other way. He listens to the guy from the penal colony. Is just like, I don't know. There was something about that. Something didn't ring true in that, or some really like 60s suspicious thing to say.
What I like in that scene is that what does he say? Kirk's like, no, we're sorry, McCoy, but you have a suspicion and no evidence. And then McCoy's like, but you see, the medical officer, if he says that there's a suspicious thing in his log, you have to answer it in your log. And Kirk's like, God damn it, McCoy. Okay, fine.
Yeah, so McCoy basically makes Kirk investigate the situation.
Yep.
Awesome. I think it's really funny because he talks about how he's all suspicious and he's like, no, they're going to ask for this guy back. And so Kirk is just like, well, okay. And he's like, hey, dudes, what do you want us to do with Dr. Flair? And they're just like, oh, you can just drop him off wherever, if you find another place close by that's as good as us, then, just drop him off there. And he's just like, see, McCoy, they're saying Dr. Flair can go anywhere. Clearly, this place is legit. And he's just like, Jim, there's no place as good as that penal colony. It's just like, shut up.
Well, Bones, you've got the ball. You care to recommend a better place?
There are no superior facilities. He knows that.
Yeah.
Like he's basically implying that the guy said that because they know that that's the only place he can take him anyway.
Yeah.
So they decide that, well, Dr. Adams wants Kirk to come by himself originally. And then he's like,
yes.
And then I think McCoy pressures him into taking on an officer who knows psychiatrics or something like that.
Yeah. So
he's like, yeah, the doctor's waiting for you in like the whatever bay, the place where they energize people. So then the episode now takes on this back and forth between Kirk and the doctor, which I'm gonna get into in a minute. Don't worry, I'm getting there. Kirk and the doctor, and McCoy, Spock, and Ric Flair, where they're trying to. Yeah.
The structure is interesting.
Because they keep cutting back to them on the penal colony, then back to them trying to get Ric Flair to talk. But of course, whenever he tries to, it fucking hurts him.
Yeah.
Kirk gets to the Energizer room. I don't know why I forgot the name of it. And it's
the transporter bay.
Transporter bay, sorry. And there's this fucking foxy doctor named Helen Knoll, who you get the very distinct impression that they have fucked before.
Distinct impression? It's all but said.
I know.
But it's almost explicitly said, hey, remember when we did Hanky Panky in the back room?
Did they say that?
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I mean, like whenever they first see each other, it's implied. Later on, it's pretty much told, but at first, it's implied.
Yeah.
I was going on first impressions.
Fair enough.
So I think Kirk even walks over to Spock and kind of gives him this look of, why the hell did he do this to me? He knows
and Spock,
he's just like, damn it, man! I'm researching your claim. Can't you at least like help me out and not
like? And then McCoy's all like, but she's the best, and Kirk's like, okay.
Like, dick move, bro. Why don't I go get your salt-loving girlfriend?
Oh wait, she's dead.
Damn.
Oh no.
But basically, so they beam down to the colony, and upon arriving, Kirk's like, and here's my weapon. I know your protocol. And Dr. Adams is like, no need. I understand how you people feel without your phasers, how we feel without a med kit. And I'm like,
naked.
Yeah.
And then Kirk like fake laughs. He's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah,
I love
it's the fake laugh you give your boss.
I know you people feel as naked without a weapon as we do without a medikit.
Yeah.
I love because that person was so like condescending about it, where you're just like, we understand how you are attached to your little weapon, and like just being a real dick about it.
Yeah.
And Kirk's just like, yeah, sure.
So basically, they take a tour of the colony. They meet someone who used to be a prisoner there, but has now been reformed. I forget. I think her name is Lethe.
Letha. And I've looked this up.
Go for it.
Guess what that name means?
Tell me.
That's the river of forgetfulness in Greek mythology.
Oh my god. That's
so
like
clever.
Foreshadowing or something.
Yes, it is.
It's like they tried.
Because I remember I heard that name and I was like, isn't that Greek mythology? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, so basically she's forgotten what she did in the past and it doesn't matter anymore because now she's a whole new person. And they believe in reformatting a person, not reformatting, but, helping someone forget so that, later on they could help society. So during this time, they come into this room where this guy is testing this thing on somebody, and it's called a neuroneutralizer. And at the same time, Kirk and Helen are finding out about it, which, by the way, she wants to be called Helen, not Dr. Noel or not Doctor, because too many titles? I don't know.
But she wants to get in his pants again.
Yeah, she wants to fuck
But
her.
he doesn't want to get in hers.
Yeah, he doesn't want that. He's like, no.
So as they're talking about the neuroneutralizer on the planet, Ric Flair is telling them about it in the ship. And he's saying that, like, they implied that Ric Flair made the neuroneutralizer to make people forget about who they were and, like, suggest things to them. Then they see it, then, like, the guy who's controlling it tells Kirk in detail how it works. And then once they leave, he turns to the guy in the chair and is like,
you will forget all you have heard. To remember any portion of it, any word, will cause you pain, terrible pain, growing more terrible as you fight to remember.
Wah! Evilness, to imply that what's happening to Ric Flair is that he's trying to remember and talk about it, but it hurts him.
See, the funny thing is that I feel like Dr. Adams is just like Dr. Corby. When are we going to learn? They can't be such bad guys. They've done so much advancing for science and humankind.
It happens all the time.
They're evil.
It happens so often in the show.
They've gone crazy. They've gone crazy. Never trust that.
It's someone who Kirk admires and someone who Kirk knows about who's now evil.
Yes. Famous people alone for too long who are smart, they just go evil. Sorry.
But just anyone that Kirk is a fan of.
Yeah, right.
Anyone Kirk's a fan of.
Kirk is a learned...
That's dangerous.
Kirk, listen to me. Kirk is a learned man, all right?
He reads books.
Yeah, he reads books.
Like if you impress Kirk, like you've gone so far. Like you are in that danger zone where you are just too brilliant for the world.
And you're probably going to be evil in a few minutes.
And you'll probably turn evil because that's the fine line you walk as a genius.
Yes. Well, yes.
Good, evil, true. Right, wrong.
Yes.
But above all, God needs compassion. Yeah.
But yes.
So anyway.
So eventually, finally, enough is enough. Spock is devastated. He needs to know what the fuck Ric Flair knows. So he decides to do an ancient technique called the Vulcan Mind Meld.
Yay!
The first mind meld.
Waiting for me.
First time they used the mind meld, I was so happy.
It was like whenever he said I must use an ancient method, I was sitting in my chair and I sat up and I was like, mind meld?
What?
As soon as he said I have to use an ancient method, I like sat up a little bit more. It's like, oh, tell me more.
Yes,
tell
me.
Do it.
I did like. Yes, I did love that scene because like Spock and Ric Flair, like the way that they like showed them joining to be one person was really cool. How he was like, don't you remember? We were hurt. We tried to get away.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like, I really like that. And Spock's just like,
Dr. Adams,
neural neutralizer. What did he do to us?
What Ric Flair says is that Adams experimented on a bunch of people, including Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Now in the colony, it's like the dead of night, and Kirk just like walks into Noel's room and is like, "Hey, let's go like test out that thing." And she's like, why? And he's like, "Because I want to." And she's like, "Whatever, I'm bored." And so goes with him.
Yeah.
And so he sits down in the chair and he's like, "You know how to operate that thing, right?" And she's like, "I got the gist of it." And so at first he's like they use it on him like very minimum, and he's like, "What happened?" "Nothing happened." She's like, "You were blank for a minute." And he's like, "Okay, well, try suggesting something." And so she tries turning it on and says, "You're very hungry." And then she turns it off, and then Kirk is like, "You know, when else is over, I want to raid a kitchen." And then she's like, "I told you about that." And he's like, "Wait, you what?" And then he's like, "Okay, try it a little harder, but something unusual." And then she has some fantasy of him like sweeping her off her feet at the Christmas party they were at, and like fucking hardcore, which they do anyway. But I'm pretty sure it was
implied.
I'm pretty sure it was in like a drunken stupor. They were like stepping over each other and like banging into things that the lights were off, and they were like
because it was something Kirk he was embarrassed about it. So
honestly, it was
something he go ahead.
They probably just fucked in the bathroom, like
that's what I assumed. They brought some mistletoe in there and bada bang.
Like he just like bent her over to like the mirror and like on the sink and just like banged her, and like she like and like she caught him looking at himself in the mirror at one point. But like whenever he noticed that she was looking, he got like kind of harder inside of her.
You and I watched some very different episodes.
No, but see, the funny thing was that when Adams comes in and then takes over and starts suggesting you need her so bad, like it hurts because she's gone and you need to be with her. And I was like, this is the ultimate fan fiction device, a machine to make Kirk fall in love with a new character.
Oh my god!
It didn't stick though.
Yeah, it didn't stick. And so after that, like Kirk's like really hard on for her and like trying to fight it, and he starts like approaching her, and she's like, no. And then he like goes right past her and opens up a grate and goes, "Go turn off the force field." And she's like, "Oh."
I loved that. That was such a good moment.
It was awesome. And then then he turns around and Guards is immediately there. I don't know if they saw her go into the grate or not. I hope they didn't.
It was kind of like a jump cut. Like it was weird. It was like they had a scene missing or they had to cut it or something.
So basically, as Spock is still mind melding with Ric Flair, Kirk is now going to the neuroneutralizer, and Helen is going through the tunnels or the vents, and she gets there, and Kirk's being tortured, and he's on like a high frequency higher than Ric Flair was, and Dr. Adams is like, "Man, Ric Flair was crying at this point. You're so strong."
Yep, that's yep.
I can't do this. Yeah, Ric Flair was crying.
It was a good scene,
and he was like, "Woohoo!" And
it was a good scene. I did like Shatner's pain expressions.
This is literally the best episode ever done. Like seriously,
worst.
What are you talking about? And so as Kirk's being tortured, and Spock's like, "I think something's wrong." Oh yeah, because whenever Kirk was being tortured the first time, Adams was like, "Drop your weapon," and he does, and then he's like, "Drop your communicator," and as he's dropping
communicator,
he flips it open and is like, "Captain Kirk to Enterprise."
Kirk to Enterprise.
Oh! Kirk to Enterprise.
And that's enough for Spock. So that as Helen turns off the force field, the big power thing, and so that shuts off the neuroneutralizer. And then she's fighting with some random guard and like kicks him into the thing, and he electrocutes and dies.
Yeah, dude, she fucking killed him.
She straight up deaded that bitch.
That was hardcore. She like drop kicked him.
Dude,
damn.
Don't
he got
fuck
fried.
around with the Helen. I mean, she fucking knows where it's at. So basically, then what happens is after she escapes, she doesn't escape. She doesn't escape. She fucking leaves. Escape implies there's danger. She fucked that bitch up. After she leaves and goes back to her room. As she's like closing the grate,
is that she didn't kill people.
As she's closing the grate, Spock energizes and turns the power back on. But when he's done this, like I think Kirk's gotten away from the neutralizer, and because in the lull he knocked out Adams, and another guy.
He broke.
And he knocked out another guy who's not there later. It's very weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
And so he knocks out Adams, and then he leaves. And then while he's gone, Spock turns the thing back on. And so later on, so basically, after Spock gets there, all the fucking security guards come, and they just take over the penal colony in like 10 seconds. Like,
yeah.
Spock had that on lockdown.
Dude, Spock is the guy you want to come down and rescue you.
You don't put someone between Spock and Kirk. Like, he will F things up.
No.
He will wreck shit.
No,
he was so efficient. It took no time. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So then they go back and they find Adams and they turn the machine off. And he literally died of having no thoughts or something.
It literally took away every thought he had.
Yeah. And now somehow Ric Flair is cured and is now the head of the colony.
Yeah.
And then they leave.
Yeah. And they end with some really good quotes.
Can you imagine the mind emptied by that thing? Without even a tormentor for company.
And I was like, damn. And then at the end of the episode, McCoy says,
"It's hard to believe that a man could die of loneliness."
Not when you've sat in that room.
It's like, oh.
It's like, oh my God.
So I think definitely you can tell that Miri and this were directed by the same guy. They both have a lot going on, but this one's definitely far more coherent and complete.
It was amazing.
And less confusing. So I'll go back through my notes in a second, but time for some trivia. So Noelle was supposed to be Janice originally, but then the producers were like, it makes more sense for a psychiatrist. And producers wanted to avoid showing Kirk becoming involved with her. And the actress Grace Whitney was on the verge of leaving due to, quote, personal problems on set. I don't know what those are. I haven't done that research. Maybe it's in somebody's biographies.
Also, tidbits of information. Scotty and Sulu weren't in the episode.
Get shafted all the time.
Always weird. Apparently, Scotty was in the original script for the scene in the transporter room.
But they saved money by not having him.
They just got some dude.
Damn it. That sounds like NBC, all right.
Scotty Rock.
So, you mean Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
You shut your mouth.
Going back through my notes, I had actually a bit more notes than the other episodes because there's a lot more going on that you can look at. Another great quote is at the beginning. Spock says,
"You Earth people glorify organized violence for 40 centuries, but you imprison those who employ it privately."
And then Bones is like, "Well, of course your people found a way around that." And then he's like, "We disposed of emotion, Doctor. With no emotion, there is no room for violence." And I'm like, oh, damn.
Also, McCoy's a great quote where he's like, "A cage is a cage, Jim."
Yeah, that was good. Bones is just awesome. Yes, Helen Noel was
interesting.
She's very pretty. Let me say, she's also a good actress.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind her being in more episodes, but I don't know if she is or not.
No,
she's not.
No,
damn it, that sucks.
We have to make more room for James T. Kirk's other flings.
Noel is French for Christmas.
Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier.
Also, Christmas?
Yeah, they celebrated Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
in Charlie X. Yeah,
it's early Trek. It's fine.
Do you think she ever told Kirk Merry Christmas while they were getting it on?
In the bathroom?
No, he said the James Bond line where he said, "I thought Christmas only comes once a year."
But he came more than once.
God.
Yeah, that's correct. Also, another quote that I wrote down was Lethe says,
"I love my work."
In a robotic tone, I said, "That sounds like someone who doesn't love their work." Sounds like someone who doesn't love their work would say.
May we never find space so vast, planets so cold, heart and mind so empty that we cannot fill them with love and warmth.
Yeah, that was a good quote too. One thing I liked most of Adams, and I liked most of the episode actually, but the one part that you could tell that Adams is bullshitting is he's like, "Look, we know this machine doesn't work, but we use it because hope." And I'm like, what?
Yes,
hope?
I remember that.
I was like, you just hope it's gonna do good things?
Yeah,
what is wrong with that's not how medicine works.
That's not how you.
Are you not
science?
making any adjustments?
Yeah,
you're not making any adjustments at all to this machine. You're just hoping that this time, with no change at all in your procedure, that it's going to work.
Yeah, man.
Hope.
What the fuck?
Hope.
One question, Doctor. If it doesn't do any good, why do we go on using it, Captain? Hope. Yes, there's always that slight chance that it might do some good in the more violent cases.
Yeah, that was one part I wrote down where I was like, come now, you're not a good person. So, so I like Dagger of the Mind.
Yeah. I'm really glad that early Star Trek is starting the trend of having wrestlers be in episodes, because I cannot wait till we get to the episode where The Rock's in it.
I forget if The Rock is actually in it.
He is. It's amazing.
Not. Wait, he is?
He's in Voyager, I think.
I don't believe
Oh, shit.
He plays a fucking barbarian in a gladiator tournament.
I believe you.
I'm not lying.
Nathan, I think you and I should just deny this until the day comes when we get to see if it's true or not.
I'm not lying.
All right, so I'm not gonna look it up. I literally pulled up Dwayne Johnson's page, but I will.
I will wait to see, because I don't want to know anything.
All right.
I'm not saying you're lying. I don't want to know when.
Okay. Looking at these 3 episodes, I think Sal and I probably liked Dagger of the Mind the most, just because it at least was trying to do an interesting kind of topical plot. But then again, I also, What Our Little Girl's Made Of was pretty good.
Yeah.
It definitely had a cool. It was just a kind of a classic Star Trek android story, and had some cool effects. Like one thing we didn't comment on is I did like how Ruck was dubbed by the other people. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, I was going to mention it, but I forgot to. That was really good.
Yeah, and then Miri. Now, the more I think about it, the less I like it.
Good.
Because at first I put it in the meh, but now it's so. The alternate Earth thing just pisses me off. I'm just like,
as it should.
It's so dumb.
Like, oh god, like you could cut that opening out and it wouldn't change anything.
Like the fact that they point it out too, like it's just like that looks exactly like Earth, and it like is reading exactly like Earth, and it's like holy shit, it's alternate Earth, and it's just like no, it's just this weird story.
It's just Earth.
The one line they're like, oh, it looks like it's from 1960, and it never just brings it up again.
Why? Like, why couldn't you just make like a different set?
No, well, actually, they probably didn't have the money. But honestly, I feel like the story about where this alternate Earth came from is infinitely more interesting than Neverland and Miri wanting to have sex with Captain Kirk, because, honestly, who doesn't, right?
Yeah. She wants to bunk that captain, am I right?
No, right? You stop that. That is foul. Right. That is so foul. You will rot for that. That is foul. So those are my thoughts.
Wow, we finally got to the episode where my sense of humor actually comes out.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible person.
Ric Flair
these 3 episodes. Yeah, so that guy's performance, at first I was like, this is too over the top, but then I was like, no, he did a good crazy
fucking
person.
Acts.
No, apparently he had to take like 4 days rest because it was so emotionally draining.
Good. Fucking good.
So did I after watching it.
But these 3 episodes, they were probably the most, I think before the podcast, we kind of said they were the most meh out of the episodes we've seen, the sets we've seen so far, because at least all of them had something. They either had really good or really bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas these, they're all pretty close together in quality with, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Miri's a little lower, but I don't know. Any other thoughts from you guys?
I think our next run is going to be a bit better, because then our next stint has the menagerie, and I'm curious to see.
I'm very curious to see that, because we did skip the pilot, and this is the first time we're going to see Pike.
Fucking Captain Pike!
And
we're like halfway to con, so...
Dude, we are halfway.
Guys, that Pike hype, though.
Yeah, always hype for Pike.
I like Pike.
Here, I'm looking at it, because you said we're halfway to con. But we do get... There's like 3 or 4 really good ones in between then.
Oh, good.
Guys, I just want to say one thing. I'm going to spoil something for you guys.
Oh, Jesus. What is it?
Season 2, episode 23.
I'm looking.
The fucking guy who plays Ric Flair comes back.
Oh my god.
As
the
a
Omega
different
Glory.
Character.
He's different. The Omega Glory.
Dude, I cannot wait till we get Ric Flair back.
Oh my god. I can't handle it.
Dude, I can't wait, because it's going to be so long from now, and like our show's going to change shit so much, and it's going to be like, wait a minute, remember Ric Flair?
Like, yeah, we're just going to forget, and then like once we get to it, it's just like, holy shit, it's Ric Flair! I can't believe he's out performing again.
Dude, anyone in 2018 who was like binge watching this, who just found it and like is like, oh, Ric Flair. Then like in like 3 days when they get to that episode for us, they'll be like, oh my god, Ric Flair.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, just I love thinking about the people who have to binge it years later.
This is so meta. Why are we talking about it?
I'll be one of them.
I think the universe is breaking.
Yeah. No, that comes later.
No, wait.
Oh my
wait,
God,
no, wait a
Jesus
minute.
Christ.
Whoa, oh my god. Guys, did you just see that?
What?
Nate, we just broke half the screen off. Oh my god,
What's
it's
this?
growing. Guys, we can't do it. We're getting too meta. We have to end this. We can't do this.
It's another Earth.
Oh my god.